We have Wayne Dunlop back. You know what? He is the author of the book, Plan Your Escape. You know what? You might even already have a copy, but if you'd like one, you can go to the Silver-Haired Tsunami website. Now, today is all about avoiding travel scams. I want to make sure we're very clear because we're not looking to scare anybody. Stuff like we're going to talk about in this segment rarely happens, but it's important to be cognizant to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Now, Wayne, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you.
You know what? I just want to say this first. I know you've just been listed as the #1 travel blogger for boomers, so congratulations.
Well, thank you.
You know, it helps to have 125,000 followers. It's a lot of fun there. But you know what? The majority of people, when you travel, are honest. They're good, decent people. But every once in a while, you know what? You have some people that want to take your money, they want to take your stuff. So the biggest concern I have is how do we teach people to be safe for themselves, how to avoid a scam when they're traveling?
Yeah, so today what we're going to do is cover just the top ones that people get hit. So that's probably like the 80-20 rule. You know, but again, re-emphasizing, most people are friendly, generous, and honest. So this doesn't happen very often. But the first tip we always give everybody, pay with a credit card whenever you can. Because then you can always go back to the credit card company. If you got defrauded or something didn't happen, you can negotiate with them and you can save that money. So that's a great tip. Also, be very careful about any offers coming over the telephone. Postcard and telephone offers, there's been a high degree of problems reported
So
about
you mean
those.
when you're traveling, people call you and
Well,
say,
no, at home. Say someone calls you at home and then says, we got this great travel thing, blah, 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 and it's too good to be true. Well, it probably is, and so like that. And then also, any company that's reputable will put their offer in writing. Any company that's not reputable won't. Now, not that every company that doesn't put it in writing is not reputable, but there's a good one-to-one correlation. So get it in writing. Let's talk about the fees and the cancellation policies and all that. If they're willing to put it in writing, it gives you a much better feeling it's going to be good for you. And then another one I just always tell everybody is that don't become a target. Leave your expensive jewelry, your expensive watches at home. Because if there is a bad person in the crowd, they're going to be scanning the crowd, and who are they going to go after?
The easy mark.
The easy mark.
Now, what are some of the other things travelers should be aware of?
You know, one thing I always tell people to do is always ask the price, and that seems kind of a funny thing to ask, but like for taxis, we get here in the United States, we just jump in a taxi and go, right? But ask the price, and then like in the case of taxis, be careful of the broken meter. If the guy says my meter's not working, be leery.
You know what? When I was first traveling overseas, that hit me.
That hit you.
Cost me 50 pounds to go about 2 miles. And basically, it was like, I'm going to call a cop. I'm like, well, I just got here. I can't be leaving right now.
You don't have time. You got to get to your destination.
Well, I had business to do.
I know. Another thing is that every city in the world, even our own, has places that's questionable to be at night, et cetera, like that. You know, we know those. Find out about those from your hotel concierge, et cetera. Or one of the best things we tell people, always pick a card from your hotel and carry it with you everywhere. So if you start feeling strange, hail down a cab, hand them the card, go home to your hotel. It's a really quick way to get out of there. Yeah. And for anybody who's got a rental car, don't leave anything in your car. We just had friends that left their little laptop on the seat of the car. They came back, it was gone. It's attractive nuisance. Don't leave things in your rental car. Now,
you know, what are the most common travel scams that we see today? Something that happens all the time because it's the thing to do.
Yeah. You know, again, we've traveled to 100 countries, as you know, and we travel almost 6 to 8 months a year. These things have not happened to us, but these are warnings I give to everybody else. It's distraction. Okay, it's always distraction because they work in groups. So if someone drops something in front of you, or they spray something on you, and they're trying to wipe it off, or put your little attendant up very carefully right there, because what's happening while you're dealing with that, someone else is trying to get your stuff out of your backpack or pick your pocket. Also, one of the big scams around the world is men with fake police badges.
Oh.
And they come up and they say, show me your papers and all that kind of stuff. Don't show them anything and never get into their car, okay? Say right to them, says, I want to go to the police station. Take me to the police station. Because what they're doing, they want you to open up their wallet, and then they see your money, then they try to take it, or they'll come back around the corner and get you later on. So that's a scam that's hit some people.
Okay.
So, never hit us, but it does hit people. And if you want to read about travel scams specific to the areas you're going, our State Department has a really nice website called travelstate.gov.
That's a good one.
Travelstate.gov. Just go, punch in your area, punch in your city, punch in your country, and they give you specific things to look out for.
Okay, so how do you protect your credit cards and your cash?
Yeah, one of the best things you do is that my wife and I carry 2 credit cards, a Visa and a MasterCard. And she carries the Visa, I carry the MasterCard, and we don't carry the other one. So if something ever does happen to me, I just cancel my credit card, and we still have the other one to use. And then also, we always use ATMs. You get the best exchange rates, than they do on the street. You know the cash is going to come out in the right amounts, and et cetera. So use ATMs. And then I have a little prop here. I always carry a little cash when we go on trips, but I hide it, and we hide it in different bags. So we'll spread it around our bags, and I hide it in something like a little something like this, and inside here is my cash.
Okay.
And so, if you are worried about that type of thing, take it. Now I can never use the candy bar again. But something that's, I'm a chocoholic. So I carry a stack of chocolate. And this is hidden inside of it. So hide your cash in an inconspicuous area, and that's a really nice way to save yourself.
You know what? One of the big things that concerns a lot of people, and actually I got hit with this when I first started traveling for business overseas, is how do you protect yourself from pickpockets?
Pickpockets. Pickpockets is the #1 problem. Okay, and it's always misdirection and distraction, like I talked about. One thing, you can always use a money belt under your clothes. Another thing is you can get a pickpocket pair of pants. And I found a great one, the best one I've ever found, from a company called Clothing Arts. Clothing Arts. And by the way, I don't make any money on these recommendations. That's I want to make sure everybody knows that. These are just great deals. I have a pair of myself, and they zip and they button over. People can't pickpocket them. And so that's a nice get a pickpocket. And the other thing, just to be sure, in case you do get in trouble, take the contact numbers from your credit cards and put it on a sheet of paper and carry that with you. Because if your card gets stolen, the number's on the back of the card. How are you going to call them? This way you can quickly call them, boom, no problems at all.
Wayne, thank you so much for joining us today. You know what? You want to avoid being scammed. The reality is it very rarely happens, but if you're prepared, it won't happen to you. Wayne, thanks for being with us today. If you'd like more information about not to get scammed when you're traveling, go to our website at the Silver Haired Tsunami. We'll be back.